waiting. So a bit of an update. We had a bit of a lull for the last feed, but the wind's back again now. By the weather by the weather app that I'm using, which is Windy Weather, it's telling me that we've got gusts, and it just drops out at the opportune moment, of course. While I try and get all this back, I left it open and now it's gone. Anyway, what that was telling me was that we were getting gusts of 40 knots at the moment. So at the moment, okay, at real time, it's saying 38 knots. So that's what we're supposed to be getting at the moment. Now, if we're getting 38 knots now, I'm very happy to be here in the 50 or 60 knots that is forecast, because we're not really feeling it at all. It's very calm. You can see it's quite calm out there. There's no wave action, there's no swell. And the barometric pressure, someone said I should show that. There it is. It's about 1009, and it is falling slightly, but there's no great drop in it at the moment. So it's not dropping down really to a deep low just yet. I'd expect that to fall in the next probably 5 or 6 hours. So we'll keep an eye on that with our feeds. I'll show you my little cyclone survival kit that I've got set up here. So I've got a torch, okay, good lead laser torch that goes shines really well. I've got a knife just in case I've got to cut anything loose, and I've got a headlight as well. And I've charged the headlight up, and I've put new batteries in the torch, so they're all ready to go. I've also got a headband that I can put a camera on, so if I get some spare time and it is all happening, hopefully I can put a camera on there and bring it to you live as well. Now, something else that came up after the last feed, a good friend of mine, John Hembro, there you go, and John, a lot of people out there know John in the boating community. He's been around for a long while and did some great stuff with some of the rallies that used to run over here. He was telling me that I should be careful if you get a lot of, and I thought I'd pass this on. I've taken his advice. I'm always open to advice. I've taken John's advice. I won't get out in the wind just yet, but he said that what I should do, because when the cyclone comes in, there is going to be a lot of rain. Hasn't been much yet, but I think it's going to bring a lot in with it. You get a lot of rubbish, especially if you're anchored in a river or something like that. So what he's saying is that he asked me how I had my chain attached, my anchor chain attached to the boat, and I had it through a carabiner, if you like, but a clip that I could undo the last link of the chain if I had to let it go. And let's go and have a look at it. I hope the wind's not too bad up here. This is my anchor locker. There's the chain coming up over the gypsy, down into the locker. And then it runs down under this box that I've got full of. I've got a rode for my sea anchor, I've got a few spare warps, I've got an anchor ball, I've got the anchor winch handle, I've got everything in there, and the chain lays underneath it on a platform. Now, the problem is, if I had to let the anchor chain go, I'd have to drag all of this stuff out, and I timed it this morning when I did it. It takes me about 10 minutes to get all that stuff out and get down to the anchor chain. And that's not good, because if I've got to let it go, I'll probably want to do it quickly. So what John suggested, and it's a great idea, take it on board if you like. I've used a piece of double braid rope, something like this. Okay, a bit of double braid rope. And I've tied that rope, or I've put the eye in that rope onto the connection point on the boat. And then I've tied the bitter end of that rope to the end of my anchor chain and left about 8 feet or 2 meters of rope in the bottom of the locker. So the rope will go from there. Let's do that again. So the rope will go from under there. You might be able to see the rope there, you can't, but the rope will go from under there, up through the locker, up through here, and then up through my spurling pipe. So if I have to let the whole chain go, I can let it all out. The rope will come out here and I can cut it with a knife. I can tie a buoy onto the anchor line so that I could find it again if I had time. But if I had to get rid of it really quickly, I could just bring the rope up, cut the rope, and be free of my anchor, which sometimes might happen. Maybe you might not be able to drive up on the anchor. The wind might be that strong and you want to get away. You'd have to dump your anchor. So this is a great idea, and always open to good ideas, and always looking for something to do when you're waiting for a cyclone to come ashore. So it took me about half an hour to set it up. Thanks, John. And that is something I hope I never use, but it's there if I have to. I don't think it's going to be in this little cyclone, but you never know. Anyway, we're still waiting for this thing to come ashore. It's going to be tonight. It's probably going to get a bit ugly, but I'm very comfortable here. It's very quiet. If we're getting 40 knots at the moment, we're not feeling it here because there's just nothing going on. I'd say it'd be max 20 for my looking at the weather, but maybe that bit of high land out to our left is knocking it back a bit. So anyway, all good, guys. We're just hanging on, and maybe in a couple of hours' time it will have got a bit worse. Okay, Rob, yeah, went through Winston in Fiji, Cat 5. That was interesting. Lucky we were in the third little piggy's house, the brick one. Good idea, yeah, I reckon, Rob. Yeah, I've done a category 4. Louis, I think it was high 3, low 4. That was pretty interesting too. That was in a marina, and I choose not to do that anymore. I'd much rather be where I am here. My outlook on it is I've done a couple in the mangroves, and it's been all good. I've done one in a marina, and too much going on. Too many other boats around, too many people that don't look after their boats and tie them up properly, and just too much to deal with. So out here on my own, I've only got to worry about myself, and yeah, hopefully we get through it. Okay, so another live feed. I'll do another one at 4 o'clock. And I don't know if I'm going to go right through the night, but I probably will. I might make them every 3 hours or something so I can try and get a bit of sleep in between them. Anyway, dudes, look, button down, hang on, and hope for the best. That's all we can do. I hope you get through it okay, and we'll talk to you at the other end, but look for our next live feed. It'll be at 1600. 1600. So 4 o'clock this afternoon. We'll see what Alfred is throwing at us. Good on you, dudes. Thanks for watching.